This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.
Yeah, very warm welcome back to the Champions League pool here on Free Sports. A fantastic start, Simon, to our first two matches of the night.
Yeah, incredible standard from all the players, actually. The chances were taken, or the majority of the chances were taken. We've seen some breathtaking shots already. A couple of shots have had us almost jumping out of our chair, and we're only 2 matches in. There's plenty more to come. I'm very excited to see how this develops. Yeah,
absolutely. This is how the table stands at the moment. Chris Melling and Mike King sit as top of it, 2 points each. Hiten, Patel and Edgar both with 0 points. Gio only with 3-4 shots played, I think, total in his match. He was a little bit unlucky. He'll be looking forward to getting back out there and trying to arrest that, Simon, in this next match.
Yeah, I think what he wants is to get his first opportunity before he's 3-0 down. He was really put under pressure in that opening match, and that's hard to deal with. So no surprise really not to see him take out that final finish. If he can get off to a good start here and start to showcase what he can do, it could be a completely different story.
Yeah, that's exactly what he'll be hoping for, and he'll start that with his break. Interestingly, gone to the centre break. He broke cut break all through that first match. Hits him from the centre this time and makes a ball. The 8 ball was decently moving there as well. And that's a great break, actually, Simon. This has come up wonderfully for him. Could have probably hit it better, you'll notice. The white ball with a fair amount of spin on it, but the spread that he's left is mouth-watering, really. These could have easily chosen either colour set.
That's exactly what he wanted, especially after that first match, isn't it? Maybe he didn't catch the break as well as a couple in the first match as well, but that's the strange game that is pool.
Patel's had pretty good practice in his first match of just waiting his turn when the other man breaks, because Chris broke so well in that opening match that it did become a bit of a dish fest.
Certainly did. In fact, there was 3 finishes from the break in the opening 2 matches. Key shot here for Gio. He's controlled that nicely. Dropped the plant in. Lovely little angle to play on the one just above it, and it should all unfold. He's got to be slightly careful now, because it looks like he's going to be leaving himself a little bit thin on his last yellow, which means getting onto the 8 ball's not guaranteed, or certainly getting perfect onto the 8 ball's not guaranteed. He's eyeing up the line to the bottom cushion, just trying to avoid the red in the triangle area, hit the bottom cushion so he can come up towards the 8 ball. He could just stun back. He's played that so well.
Yeah, played that with a lot of confidence as well, didn't he? Really punched it in.
And no mistakes with the 8 ball. Well, considering how that opening match went for Gio Edgar, he'd be very, very pleased to get that opportunity and to take it out so comfortably and so confidently. And he does take that 1-0 lead, and a very calm start for the young man. And we can find out how Chris Melling thought of that, or what Chris Melling thought of that first match. He's now with Stephen Jameson.
He certainly is. Well, very good evening to you, Chris. Thanks for the entertainment in that first match. It was a cracker. How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, it's really the first English pool tournament I've played for quite some time, and obviously due to lockdown. But Hiten played quite well. He was a little unfortunate. A couple of times he lost the cue ball, but all in all, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, we talked actually after your first frame, which was a rapid break and disc. It looked like you'd never been off the table. Has it been difficult not obviously playing this form of the game for such a long time?
Yeah, obviously the government closed all the snooker clubs and pool clubs, so I haven't really played a great deal. And when I did play, I was playing snooker. I'm actually using my snooker cue as it happens. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you practice a little bit when you come down for an hour or so, and obviously try and get your arm in, but sometimes it doesn't happen.
You talk us through one of the shots you had to play there, because it didn't quite come off, but we want to touch on it anyway. The spin shot up to the top of the table when you were snookered. How do you see that in any way, and how close were you to making it?
I was literally about probably 5 millimetres away from making that ball. If I contact it at that point, it's going in. But I didn't have another shot, to be honest. No matter what shot I was going to play from there, I couldn't hit my red, so I had to play the Massey shot, and unluckily it didn't come off, but they can't all come off.
And what did you make to your opponent, Hiten? He gave you a really good match in action now at the moment against Gio.
Yeah, Hiten's been around quite some time. He's a brilliant player. Obviously represents India at the World Championships, and he's won quite a few events off the television. So I knew I was up against it, and obviously in a race to 4 at everybody's. But he held himself together well, and I think he'll do well in this event.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, really enjoying it. You know, any event that you can play on TV, I always enjoy, win or lose. It's been a while, to be honest, so I'm going to enjoy every moment.
Well, we look forward to watching that as well. Simon, it's back to you.
Great to hear from Chris. Plenty more to come from him later on tonight. 2 more matches from Chris Melling. We've just seen a foul break from Hiten, and opportunity for Gio to go back-to-back clearances from the break to start tonight. And excellent. Came out beautifully when he had to play the developing shot. Wasn't guaranteed to land on his next ball, but once he did, he's made no mistake with a finish thereafter, and a brilliant start from Gio, especially, as I said earlier, considering how that opening match went from he's doing exactly what had done to him in his opening match to he's now doing that to Hiten Patel. 2-0 lead for Gio. Take another look at his profile, and you can see just 16 years old. That's 20 years younger than any of the other players in action tonight, and you can already see his CV is already starting to grow, winning under 15 European titles and under 15 and under 18 Scottish titles. He really is a young man with a big future in this game.
2 frames to 0. Time running.
He certainly is. Off to a great start in this match. Nearly going in off on that break, and that's one thing that I think will grow and will become eventually a weapon for him. I think he'd be the first to admit that his break needs work, and experience, size, strength, all will come as he gets older. It's not something that's easily taught. A great break.
Yellow balls in play.
Lovely start from Hiten, meanwhile, to get his match underway. But I know it's something you focus on a lot, Simon, is the technical side of the game. It's the educational side of it, if you want. And it does take a little while to get a break going, and you tend to just sort of stick with what you know. And when you're that age, it can be difficult to sort of figure out what is your best way of going at it.
Yeah, but also you're you know, when you're that age, you're growing as well. He's a lot taller than last time we saw him, and that was, you know, a few months ago. He really is. So that your technique's going to change just from that. Just turns the table over back to Hiten, but he's a young man that works on his game, and he's got a coach that teaches him and helps him to improve his cue action.
You see, he's a clever thinker about it. It was a canny little tactical shot. It's his legal shot, that, by the way, if you're wondering. He can pot his opponent's ball as long as he plays his own ball first, i.e. a legal shot. Just turns the table over. Hiten once again has to raise the butt of the cue and get the swerve out. Oh, he's played that brilliantly. That is a really good shot.
That's brilliant. 2-0 down, hardly had a touch of the table, already lost your first match, under all sorts of pressure there, and he's come up with a massive shot. And then, okay, he's on this next ball, one more good positional shot here, and he should be able to get the frame on the board, but this isn't easy positionally. He's done well to get the cue ball past that break line. He can pot this yellow to the top left, but he's going into the red, so the yellow's going to move.
Yellow at the bottom of the table would be an insurance policy were it not for the minefield of reds that are below it, but I tell you what, that's a good result. That is a beautiful result. You can see Patel even bothering to look at the table. He knows exactly what remains. are going to be 2-1. And Hiten Patel is back in the hunt. Great clearance.
Frame.
It's good to hear from Chris Melling a moment ago, Simon. He very, very chipper mood, and quite right too, as you know, he's played his way into form. He mentioned to you before the start of the show, he mentioned there on interview that he's barely been playing. You know, the clubs have been shut, and that is his main source of practice and training, if you want. Difficult to come back into, but you know, playing with a snooker cue on a pool table and raising it 90 degrees off the surface, it looks like he's never been away.
I think that's one of the things for all the players really is even the ones that have access to a table. If you've got nothing to practice for because of obviously what's going on in the world right now, there aren't many tournaments to play in. So to be able to put the time in and the dedication and to practice is, even if you have access, is going to be difficult. And if you haven't got access, it makes it even harder, obviously. And you know, he's come out and looked very sharp considering he hasn't been playing. In fact, as have all the players tonight.
He took a moment after the interview as well to talk to me about a particular shot that he played slightly wrong, just a little bit out of practice, played it with a little bit too much left, was an inch short, which meant he was snoop. The man's mind when it comes to this game is, you know, at a level which is so advanced that, you know, he genuinely looks at a pool table in millimeters. You know, he just doesn't see it as spaces. He almost sees it as coordinate points, such as his control over angles and patterns.
He sees the game at a completely different level to a lot of players. He really does, and he sees it so quickly as well. I think he's a very good fit for this 20-second format as well. Although, as to be said, he nearly got caught out by the shot clock once, thinking he had an extension when he didn't. One tricky red here for Hiten to work out. He may not even move it. He may just try and play a little bit of positional shot onto it. Oh, he has tried to move it, and he's moving the yellow. That's opened it up.
Yeah, that's come out okay. Now just needs to work out his pattern for these final 3 reds. It's been a top standard tonight so far. It really has. That is, I think, just about inch perfect. I say inch perfect.
It's tight, isn't it? He may have to just move the swerve the cue ball a fraction. Yeah, you can see the way he's queuing up on this. Just trying to get some left on it, which he does.
I think he'll take that. This is a really tricky little pot, but if he makes it, he's guaranteed position. And he's guaranteed 2-all. Yeah, nicely played. Been a great standard tonight, really enjoying this. Hiten Patel squares things up 2 apiece after 4. And both players playing with a high degree of confidence. Haven't seen a missed pot yet, I can recall. Stats tell us as much as well. It's been good fare, this, it really has.
Yeah, I think that's 3 finishes from the break in every match so far. It's incredible standard. Probably the highest standard we've seen from all 4 players. We've seen some nights where we've seen 1 or 2 players playing great and maybe one or 2 players struggling, but all 4 players look very sharp tonight. And this, I know that both Hiten and Gio have lost their opening match, but a lot can still happen out there. And they still, either of these 2 could still make their way through this group.
I think one way I can look at this is it's probably the best, because the format of the night usually works that the first 2 losers of the 3rd match. This is the best losers match that we've seen so far.
Yeah, oh, yeah, without a question.
You know, for both players to have lost their first game and to be 3 finishes off the break out of 4 in the next one is an indicator of just what standard we're playing to tonight. Didn't have the look of a group that would really be a bit of a gauntlet and be really, really tough to get out of. Next week for that sort of group, but it might just reach those levels, you know. But all 4 players have offered us a really high level so far tonight.
They have, and with all 4 players playing the way they are, we could see a lot of drama and a lot of twists and turns before this night's out. They all play each other. Top of the group goes through. to the quarterfinals. And okay, things look good for Mike King and Chris Melling, but they've got to play each other next.
Yeah, whichever way that result goes will be quite defining, one would imagine, in this group.
Just comes up too far. He wanted to be straight on this yellow to the bottom right corner. If he's straight, it's a lot easier. He can still just about drop this in and hold the white, but the cue ball's going to be tracking towards the yellows. And that's why he's tried to come on. He felt he couldn't hold, too much angle to hold, and had to go past the 8-ball and back, and that's what's forced the miss. So that miss looks bad, but it was the previous shot that we really frustrated by.
Yeah, it's the first real mistake in this match that I can remember, apart from maybe Hiten's one off the jaws, I think, in the second frame. But other than that, every slight mistake that's been made has been recovered so well. This is now a good chance to punish if you're Hiten Patel. And it's worth pointing out as well, we talked about the next match being really defining. So too is this one. Loser of this match, if there is to be one, is heading home.
Yeah. Tough shot. If it goes in, it should be plain sailing, and it does go in. Those shots to the centre pocket, they look really easy from the main camera, but they never are.
No, you just have to get behind them to realise how tight the angle is.
And he's made 2 of them on the trot, because he made one to win the previous frame as well. It was even one to win the previous frame was even tougher. Plenty of space to land on this 8-ball.
And this to go 1 frame away. With 7.5 minutes remaining. You say plenty of space to land on it. A little bit halfway house. But he's all right. Here's Hiten Patel. 3-2 then to the Hitman, who's 1 frame away from saving his skin in Group 7 of the Champions League pool. Heard Chris Melling talk about what a good player this man is, and you know we've seen him win a lot of. What he's saying is they've won a lot of tournaments off the TV. You know, he just wins tournaments that might not make the sort of the mainstream pool news, as it were, but players amongst themselves know how good he is.
Yeah, exactly that. There's so many good players around. If you're winning, you know, you said there are multiple Leicester Tour wins. There's very high quality players play in those events. So to be winning those titles is you've got to play some serious pool.
Oh, is that going to come up dry? Well, Gio Edgar, here's your chance. He could have not played another shot in this match if Hiten had made a ball there, but he has not. He's opened the gate for young Gio Edgar.
That slow-mo camera is fantastic, isn't it? You could just see the cue ball leave the bed of the table as it's going down there, and it caught the balls of the pack almost on it as it's landing, and that sort of killed the pace in it, and that's why they haven't opened up as much as they should have done.
Well, that was the potential one to open it up, but it's not gone right for Gio.
It's
Is
not.
this a big pocket up at the top of the table, though? That's some shot. That is some shot.
I tell you what, he was also, you could see him straight away looking down to the bottom left corner. He was trying to play the skill shot at the same time. Look how close the cue ball comes to potting the yellow over the pocket. It's a great effort.
Oh. Yeah, great spot.
Even though he's made that shot, he's still not in a great situation here. The Reds aren't laid out particularly well, and in the end he was a bit rushed and didn't have time to work out anything constructive to do.
Turns the table over. Gio Edgar gets his second bite of this 6th frame cherry.
saw Hiten make 2 of those, and they're really not easy. That was an excellent shot from Gio, and that's now, because he's taken that ball and landed on this one, this frame is now there for him. Has to be slightly careful with the 8-ball. I don't think it goes to the bottom left or bottom right. It might squeeze into the bottom right, but you can see from this camera angle it definitely won't go to the bottom left. There is room for it to go into centre pockets or top pockets, but you've got to land on it, which isn't going to be easy.
Yeah, this is a little bit more difficult than it potentially looks.
I think there's an argument to say go up the table on that previous shot and leave this one here for your last ball. Interesting to see which way he plays this. He might try, if he can pot it thin enough to track down the right-hand side of the table, there's a big area for him to land in. That's what he's tried to do, and he's going to go into the 8-ball.
Well, this is going to be a double, I think. Same pocket he's just potted in.
I think he might be playing the cut. Jaw
Does
off
it
red.
go?
Oh, this is going to get interesting now. This is going to get very cagey. I think that would have dropped with more pace. Yeah, you can see, look at the 8-ball, it is going towards the pocket. Just a shade more pace, that drops.
I did not think that was on.
Be no thought of potting balls here for Hiten. Just let Gio trying to get to this. It's going to be so hard to get to the 8-ball.
And it's difficult to not foul if you miss.
And the thing he's got to guard against, because you have to make a genuine effort to get to the 8-ball here, you could easily hit the red and pot the 8-ball and lose the match off that shot.
Foul.
You can't just walk to the table and just nudge it to a cushion and not try. You have to make a genuine effort, which he did there. Just slid too much off the first cushion, but it's just really hard for...
Well, Hitten's got a decision to make, because if he doesn't feel like he can win the frame, which is perfectly possible given where that red is, because that's awkward if you're reds.
Yeah, I don't think Hiten has to do anything other, considering the situation of the match, than do what he's doing now, which is just, even if Gio keeps fouling, is just keep brushing off the ball and leaving the same foul, because him coming off one cushion and potting this is so low odds. Oh, you're kidding me.
I tell
you are kidding me. That is incredible.
I'm amazed.
What a shot that is. The room there. Well, there isn't room there. That is a brilliant shot from Gio. Look at the room. There is just no room here at all. I thought he was going to hit the red, and if he hits the red, he loses the match. And wow, what a shot that is. And when you consider the fact that if that shot goes wrong, he is not just losing this match, he is out of the tournament. What a shot.
16 years of age, by the way. Yeah. Terrifying.
Frame 7. Frame
That's
7.
absolutely stunning from Gio Edgar, who has set us up for a decider. There is not long left to go in this match. Just underneath 3 minutes, I think, is where we were. See there, looks like we've got a slight timing error. They're not going to have a 20-minute frame, don't worry about that. It sets up for a decider, and Gio, in winning that, does have to break it. If he can make a ball, he's got a sniff.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt Hiten as well, because in that situation there, he's thinking, all I've got to do, and he had about 2.5, 3 minutes to go, all he had to do was run the clock down.
Time running.
There we go, the clock is sorted now, so it is 2.5 minutes.
Plenty of time for a break and dish, just needs a ball. Gets a ball. And it's not a terrible split. It does need some working out, though. That young mind will surge into gear. Yellows is the ball. Oh, I tell you what, that might be a result. I don't think he wanted it to pot, mind. He's opened the 8-ball up beautifully, but in knocking that yellow in, I'm not sure he's got a second shot. as easy. He's got the one at the top of the table, but position now is tough.
Yeah, and the yellow nearest the bottom right is a real problem ball. Can he double it? Is there room? Just about.
So Hiten Patel will get a shot in the decider. It's not easy. He's got 3 reds over by that bottom left corner.
You just take the skill shot on here. If it goes in, great chance to win the match. If it doesn't, at least you're containing the situation.
Yeah, it's not a foul. Takes the pocket. Turns the table over.
I think we'll see Gio try the same shot and succeed. Brilliant shot. Can he see the one at the top of the table?
If he can get around this 8 ball, he's on to go and win it. Natural angle to swing around for his last yellow. He doesn't have it, so it will be the yellow on the right. It's a tougher pot. Nails it.
What a shot that is.
Is he on his last ball?
I think this cuts back. It's tight.
Natural angle takes him down the bottom of the table. Gio Edgar with a great chance here. 40 seconds or so remaining on the watch. Nails the pot. Where's the white? Where's the white? Would you believe it?
Ball in hand.
A signal for the youngster. Can Hiten Patel clear then in 30 seconds? Edgar may still get a point out of this. Oh, we may get more.
Oh, wow. In rushing, really, he's left a, I think he's left a cutback double to the centre. There's time here for Gio.
Well, this would be a steal. Not to be. Well, in a must-not-lose game, it looks like both players are going to do just that and take a draw out of it. It ends at 0 seconds. It ends with 3 frames apiece. Gio Edgar fractions away from winning it. Hiten Patel survives by the barest of margins. An incredible match.
Yeah, what a match. Probably I've enjoyed that match as much as I have any so far in this tournament. It had a bit of everything, really. Both players played some great ball in it. Both players made the odd mistake as well. We saw some brilliance from that shot from Gio, and both players had their opportunity to win that that deciding frame. And I thought Hiten had... I thought he was going a little bit slow with his opportunity, and then he rushed the shot and missed it to give Gio that final chance. But fortunately for Hiten, it stayed on the table, so both players will take that point.
They certainly will. It's hotting up then in Group 7. Our next match is going to be a belter. The 2 men who sit atop the table go head-to-head. A win in this next match will set either one up for a run at the quarter-final spot. Don't go anywhere.
This programme is brought to you by Vinny.co.uk.